Davening Takeaway, Likkutei Torah, Bamidbar, Daf Yudches, the 18th page. On this page, we find a fascinating description, a different dimension than the idea of Kriyishma and what it can accomplish. It talks about in this mimer that we have an obligation to draw down the tremendous pleasure from Hashem down into this world. And by doing that, or the process of doing that, is by what's known as Isarus Sata, an arousal from below first, which then arouses that above elicitation of the pleasure, the deep pleasure of Hashem. And that action that we do, which is every day, is saying Shema and having Moser Nefesh, having Mesiras Nefesh for the oneness of Hashem, and also then leading to loving Hashem, Ve'ahavta, which is an aspect that we are describing our pleasure in Hashem. And this comes in various forms. We see that Ve'ahavta, loving Hashem, can come b'chol levavecha, with all our heart, which means, and we've learned b'shnei yitzarecha, that both of our yitzers, that even the nefesh bahamis, can be converted, hishapcha, into having a desire for Hashem. There's another aspect, and that is b'chol nafshecha, in all our heart. With all our soul, excuse me. And that's the idea of what's known as bitul hayesh. And the idea of bitul hayesh, that we have an ego, we have a sense of self, and we nullify that to allow that to become connected with Hashem's yesh, with Hashem's existence, and we connect in that deep way. And it says that when we do that, and we take from our yesh and make it ayin, when we take the something and make it into a nothing, Hashem reciprocates, and he takes his yesh and makes it to an ayin. And the interesting thing of the mimer is it gives a new spin. It says that the yesh to ayin that Hashem does in response is the yesh ha'amiti, the true existence, which is Hashem, and he brings it into the ayin. He actually moves it and takes a ha'ara, takes a reflection or a glint, and moves it into the ayin, which is chachma, because chachma comes from ayin, and chachma, the higher level, is ayin. And so we see that he will move that deep level of inner pleasure coming from Hashem himself and moving it into chachma. From there, then it can be processed through, and we can get pleasure into this world, in particular through the Torah. That this pleasure can, by having this Mesiras Nefesh for the oneness of Hashem and having this love for Hashem, that actually unlocks the inner deep ta'anug, pleasure, that is found within Torah, so that we can now have access to it. And so the process of Shema then allows us then to bring that into the world and through the Torah and then the mitzvahs in general. And we see another hint at that with Baruch Shem Kavod Malchusei Le'olam Vod, which we also say in the Shema. That there's a hint, it's brought in the mimer from Priyes Chaim, that there are exactly 24 letters in Baruch Shem, and we say it twice a day, because there's a mitzvah of Shema twice a day, for a total of 48. And that 48 is Chayil, and it's Simkamatria, and that is a deeper meaning for what we say in Hallel. It says, Yamin Hashem, Yamin Hashem, Oisei Chayil, that the right hand of Hashem actually performs acts of valor. And this acts of valor is acts in this world where he will connect to us and bring that deep pleasure to us in a way that we can appreciate it. And for that reason, in the Eshes Chayil, we're called, actually the Jewish people are called Eshes Chayil. Hashem is the one who makes Chayil. We are the Eshes Chayil. We are the wife of that aspect. We're bonded, and we're the counterpart to that amazing revelation. And so we see that going through the Shema, we are able to draw down a very deep level and bring it into the world and live with it and make it part of our lives.